What's going on, YouTube? I'm going to show you guys today what I'm doing here. I'm doing a quick little audio project in my 97 Z28. If you've ever watched any of my other videos, I had one a couple years ago where I ran an amp. It was a 2-channel and I ran it 4 ways. Probably about 50 watts per speaker. I'm going with a totally different setup now, though. I actually bought a component set. I don't have it here. It'll be here tomorrow. It's a CDT component set. It's got a 1-inch tweeter, 6.5-inch woofer, and a set of crossovers. So the speakers are good for 160 watt RMS. And the ones that I had here, these Memphis Audios, they sounded good. They had these are coax. They had built-in tweeter, obviously, as you can see, the crossover as well. But I just wanted more sound, and I also blew these. I blew both of them. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, they're both blown. Probably because there was too much power going to it. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually going to deaden the sound in this car. And if you look here, I pulled out the carpet. It's really easy to do. 4 bolts for the seat. Center console comes apart very easily. There's just the 2 10mm bolts up here. Then there's one here, and that pulls right out once you take the once you put the e-brake up. And then the back seat's held on by simply 1 bolt here, 1 bolt over there, and then there's a Torx head bolt for each of these that go on the back seat, and the back seat comes right up as well. And it's got a bolt here too. So about 8 bolts. This literally only took about 20 minutes, and you can see the carpet there in the driveway. So now that that's all out of the way, I cleaned it up, I vacuumed it, I wiped everything down with just some glass cleaner with ammonia in it. Cleaned everything really well. But what I really wanted to say was the sound deadening that I used. I just wanted to post up a quick review because I read a lot of stuff online before I did this. I saw, sorry, mosquitoes are all over me, Fat Mat, Dynamat, Second Skin, all of these different sound deadeners, and the one thing they had in common is they were all super expensive, with Fat Mat being the most affordable. Then I came across a video where a guy was saying that he used some aluminum peel and seal, which obviously is what I've decided to do as well. A friend of mine, he's really big into audio. He does a lot of this stuff. He's really good at it. I mean, he knows everything about it as far as I'm concerned. He came by and he said, and he's ran Fat Mat. He currently has Second Skin in his car, which he paid a fortune, or de-amplifier, which he paid a fortune for. It's a little thicker than this, but he said that this looked exactly like Fat Mat. He said it looks and smells exactly like Fat Mat, so much so that it almost looks as if Fat Mat bought this and put their brand on it and is reselling it for twice the price. So I paid $16 for a 6-inch by 25-foot roll. So if you do the math, this is 12.5 square feet, so I bought 25 square feet total. I bought 2 of these. Then I also bought this here. This is some ducting insulation. This is what it looks like on the cover. Duct insulation by Frost King. It's 12 inches wide, 1/8 of an inch thick, and 15 feet long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this along the floor, maybe over a layer of the peel and seal if I have enough of the peel and seal. I've actually just started doing this door. So what I've done is I've layered it onto the back all the way across. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put pieces along the top where I can. I don't want to cover any of my holes or wires, so I'm kind of just piecing it on, as you can see over there. If I have anything left, I'll put some up there in this corner where it's missing some, and I'll fill in any of the little gaps with what I have left over. But I didn't want to use too much of it on the doors, but I can already tell the difference in the sound when you tap it. It's already got a nice solid deadened sound. So one other thing I wanted to say is I'm in Michigan. It's about 70 degrees today. It's the middle of July, but we're having a polar vortex or something, so it's a little chilly. It was like in the 50s this morning. I can't smell this at all, and that's one of the things I read online from people is everybody talks about how bad it smells. I don't smell anything, and my buddy that was here earlier said that the Fat Mat smelled exactly like it, because he said that his whatever he had was asphalt based, unlike the Second Skin that he has in his car now. which is a lot thicker. It's probably a better product, but I don't want to I'm not going to spend $200. So all in all, I spent $16 a piece on these and about $20 on this, and then I got a little discount. So I paid under $50 out the door with a 6% sales tax for all three of these, and it looks like I'm going to get the entire job done because I'm almost done with both doors. I still have all this left, and then I have a whole other row here to do the floor, and then I'm going to lay this over the rest of it. I'm not going to let any of this go to waste. I'm going to use all of it. As far as putting it on, it couldn't be easier. I got a block of wood there to use for cutting it, so just this and a razor blade. And I went to the dollar store and bought this. Cost me $1. It looked like this when I bought it. It looks like it's some kind of paintbrush. What I did on one of them, I just tore the fluff off of it. And it's worked really well. As you can see, I can put it in here and do the job just as well as the little dynamat roller that they sell for 10, 15, 20, 30 bucks, whatever they're gouging us on. So this ended up working really well. I was able to jam it into all the nooks and crannies. And for the really tight spaces, I just used the back of a screwdriver to press it in. So this is actually looking to be a lot easier than I thought it was, and I was looking online getting really discouraged at these sound deadeners at the price, and you know, thinking I was going to spend $150 just on deadener, and here I am, I spent $50, and I probably didn't even need this. I just kind of want this for my floor. Keep in mind this car is it's cammed, it's got a full exhaust on it, and I actually just had a straight pipe welded on underneath. Just as you can see there, I got rid of the cat. So the car has a little noise to it. So what I'm hoping is that deadening this will also keep the car a lot quieter and smoother and kind of dampen any of the little rattles that I have that annoy me. So once these speakers come in tomorrow, I'm going to put them in. I'm going to have to find a place to mount these crossovers. I'm thinking I'll mount one up here. And then I got to find a spot for the driver's side crossover. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that one yet, but I'm definitely not putting it in the doors. So I'll check back in and put another video and let you guys know how those CDTs turn out. And I've already given the specs on the speakers. That amp right there, it's a 480 watt max. It's actually a 100 watt RMS by 2 at 2 ohms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run that to the crossover and let the crossover determine what kind of load it's going to pull. From what I understand, I really don't know a lot about it, but I don't think that I can really control. I think the crossover it distributes it. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm going to have to look into it some more, but what I'm planning on doing is just running 100 watts to each speaker, and then I'm going to mount the tweeters and the door panel probably somewhere around here. In the door panel, in the actual plastic panel, I'm just going to drill a hole and mount them flush, and I'll check back in after that, show you where the install points were and how it turned out. I'm back and I'm all out of the peel and seal. As you can see, here's the driver's door. I didn't waste any of this stuff. I mean, I've seen videos where people just put it all the way across, but I don't want to cover up all these holes, and I don't want to cover up this stuff or any of my wiring, so I did it this way. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to do it. I don't really care. Anybody who acts like there's some exact science to dynamating a car is an idiot, but I'm sure there will be trolls. But we'll see how this works. It's a lot more deadened than it was. I can just tell just from the way that it sounds moving it around. All this little rattly stuff. Like this had a rattle. This isn't secured to the fiberglass, so it was kind of rattly. That's quiet. And I also did the inner skin of the doors all the way across, and passenger side. I would have liked to have done it all the way across, but I just didn't really see any way to do it without covering up stuff that I just didn't want to cover. These Camaros are notorious for the window motors going out, and if it does, I don't want to deal with cutting this stuff out. Anyways, I did just along the floor where a lot of the exhaust and engine noise comes in, and then I also did the tunnel, and it stuck really well. I mean, I cleaned it, I vacuumed it first, and then I used compressed air, and then I used the ammonia like I said earlier. But here's what I did with the screwdriver for the tough to reach corners. I just ran it in there, you know, so that it's nice and smooth, and I did that on all the real tight spots here, so it's completely adhered to it. So as of now, this is what it looks like. I just did both floor pans underneath each seat, the tunnel, and then a strip across the back because that's all that I had left. Now I'm gonna run the ducting right there until I run out all the way to the back. And here we are with the finished product. That 25 feet of the thicker stuff didn't last as long as I hoped it would. It gave me enough to go from the floorboard here all the way down to the back. If I could go back, I probably would have cut it off probably here, not wasted a little bit on the back here, but I had enough to get one strip here underneath each seat to try to kill some of the road noise. And then I took what was remaining and split it long ways and ran it along each side. This is where my drive shaft, and there's a lot of moving stuff under here, transmission. So was wanting to eliminate that. I figured this, what was here, is decent enough. This is pretty heavy stuff, that pad there, so we'll see. I mean, you can hear the difference. Listen to the thud. That's got a tink tink. This has got a like a thud thud. So this should do a really fantastic job. I'm really happy with the way that everything turned out. We got planes. Sucks living by DTW, but anyways, this stuff here, it's nice because it's sticky. So I was able to, again, really, as I unrolled it, you know, press it along these edges so that I get a nice tight seal. So this is on there nice and tight. It's not just laying over. And I think this is going to quiet it down a lot. Next on the list is probably going to be one more roll of peel and seal, and I'm going to do the trunk area, the hatch area. There's the sub back there. But I was really just more concerned with getting my cab a lot quieter, not just for sound, but just overall. The car is just so loud. I got a brand new exhaust put on, so I have new headers, new Y pipe. I just got the cat cut off because it was clogged, so I got no cat on here. So it's headers with a off-road Y pipe, basically through a straight through MagnaFlow catback, and it sounds incredible. But I just want it to be a little bit quieter. As a matter of fact, let's just do a quick startup so we can see how quiet it is. And these are going to be all my wires for my components. I wish they were here now so I could finish the job, but I'm gonna have to wait. We got the T-tops are off, so it might be a little loud still. I can tell from the way the door sounded, even without the door panel on, that it's a little more solid. Let's start this up. Oh yeah. Sounds awesome. So the components will be here tomorrow, and we'll get to see how this thing sounds with it totally sealed up. I'll check back in.